Continuing our conversation about the 68, 95, 99.7 rule, and once again, it helps us answer these types of questions. What percentage of students are between 18 and 21? Um, what I would recommend doing at this point, notice how we kind of sectioned off our density curve into 68%, 13.5%. When you're given different intervals, what's going to help you is creating almost subsets. Okay, so what I mean by that, let me create a new page and create a new histogram using the same values. So here is my 20, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So this would be 21, 22, and 23. And then in the same direction here, we'll go 19, 18, and 17. And just as a recap, to get a better understanding of our 68, 95, 99.7 rule, I know between these two values is 68%. I know between these two values, 18 and 22, 95%. And then my last one of 17 and 23, that's 99.7% of my values. Okay. Now let's draw the most important thing here. That's the density curve. Off to the left, off to the right. And what I was trying to talk about there was, now let's say we divided these up. In other words, I know from 19 in this section right here, from 19 over to 21, I know this region in here. I know this region in here is 68%. Likewise, I know this region from 18. Let me draw that in a pen here. From 18 over to 22, I know that's also 95%. I know 17 to 23 is 99.7. Okay. But let me draw one more line right down the middle. Okay. And now I'll notice what I want you to notice is you have one section here, two, three, four, five, six, and technically you have a seventh section over here and an eighth section over here. And if we can attach a percentage to each one of those sections, it's going to help us answer questions just a little bit better. So let's start from the middle and work our way out. Okay, this is 68% from 19 to 21. So if I divide that in half, what percentage is going to fall between 19 and 20? Well, 68 divided by 2, it would give me 34%. All right, and I'm going to write these percentages in blue so we don't get mixed up here. So over in this section, 30, I'm sorry, that should be 34%. 34% are going to fall in that region, and 34% are going to fall in this region. So if I ask you the question, what percentage of students are between the ages of 20 and 21, your answer would be 34%. Okay, now let's move from left to right. We looked at the previous example in saying that, okay, well, from 18 to 22 is 95. It captures this 68%. So what's left over? 68, or I'm sorry, 95 minus 68. I have 27% to account between these two sides. 27 divided by 2 gives me 13.5% in each one of those sections. So from 18 to 19, I have 13.5. Over here, I have 13.5. And let me just zoom in to make this a little bit neater and a little bit clearer. All right, I'm going to erase this guy real quick just to make that a little bit better for us. So once again, let's draw this little section in here. All right, and in this section over here is 13.5%. So 13.5, 34, 34, and 13.5. Okay, now this section, 17 to 18, 22 to 23. Once again, let's think about what's left over. Well, if from 18 to 22 is 95, I can do 99.7 minus 95, and I'm going to get 4.7%. So I have 4.7% to split up between this section over here and this section over here. I know they're symmetric. I know they're the same area. So I can divide that 4.7 divided by 2. And that gives me 2.35. Since I don't have a whole lot of room, I'm just going to write that up here. 2.35% and 2.35%. All right. So if I were to ask you the question, what percentage of students are between the ages of 17 and 18, you would say 2.35%. Okay. Now, last but not least, what about these sections over here? So less than 17 and greater than 23. If I asked you on the off chance, we'll say the percentage of students older than 23. How would you answer that question? Well, it's not a whole lot because I know between 17 and 23 is practically the whole thing, 99.7%. But let's think about it. The whole density curve is 100%. So 100% minus 99.7% gives me 0.3%. So 0.3% is accounted for over here and also over here. So 0.3 divided by 2. My answer to this question would be 0.15%. Okay, so once again, this region in the yellow is a very, very small percentage, 0.15%. And same thing, less than 17 would be 0.15%. So to answer my question, the percentage of students older than 23 is 0.15%.